Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And you're gonna want to grab a little snack, a little drink, because we're gonna be here for a while. Today we are reviewing the Boyfriend Collection from Buffbunny, and I think this is the biggest Buffbunny launch ever. My clothing rack is filled to the brim. I don't even want to know how long this is gonna take me to try everything on. So this collection features a lot of neutrals, kind of more cooler grayish undertone, muted colors. We got some browns, we got some muted pinks, a couple pops of maybe some blue, green, but really basic neutrals. We do have some returning items, as well as a new lounge collection, the Threads Lounge, and this is like a whole little mini capsule in and of itself. As if this video wasn't long enough, I'm probably going to regret doing this, and whenever there's a little mini capsule, generally I don't get very much time with the items, and I don't think they need like a full dedicated YouTube review. So we have two little mini capsules that have already launched that I figured we would just do a review so that they have a space on the channel so you guys can look back at them if you need to. I am wearing a piece from the Butter capsule. This is the Curve Sports Bra, which we have launched before, but we have some sizing. Anyways, this is gonna be a long one. The Buffbunny Boyfriend Collection is launching on Saturday, March 2nd at 1 p.m. Central Time. As always, you can use code Catherine at checkout. It gives you 10% off and also supports me if this review was helpful for you guys. And without further ado, let's get into it because we have a lot to cover. So before we get into the capsules, let's talk about the colors of the Boyfriend launch. You are like me, I love a neutral moment, but I'm craving some color, guys, just craving some color. So if you are a bright colors girly, this is not gonna be your launch. Stay tuned for some color from Buffbunny happening later in the year. But if you've been in your neutrals era, this collection is for you. So we have a bunch of new browns and some old browns kind of mixed in there. We have Cold Brew, which is just a little bit more cool toned than the old Buffbunny Journey Dark Brown. Still a great, almost black kind of shade that's just a little bit softer. We also have Mocha Berry, which is one of my favorite colors. It's like a brownish pink. It goes really well with Berry Ice, which is like a muted baby pink. I do have Berry Ice here. I wish Berry Ice came in more things because I just didn't feel like it came in a lot of stuff. We have Chai Latte that I'm wearing here. We have Chamomile. The Dream Heather is back, so a lot of these colors come in the Dream Heather fabric as well. We have Bone, which is another off-white. We have Pistachio, which we have seen before, but just kind of a very pale pastel green. Moody Blue, which is a muted light blue. And those are kind of just the main colors, but there are more. Okay, now we are going to start off with the capsule collections before we jump into the launch. So the first one is the Butter capsule. This little mini capsule launched a few weeks ago. There's still plenty of stock on the website. So as hinted at by the name, everything is in the Butter fabric. The Butter fabric from Buffbunny is like an ultra thin, super soft, naked feel, even a little bit thinner than the Nubre, which is the classic Buffbunny fabric. I actually think they've been making some improvements to the Butter fabric when I first tried it. In the Curve leggings, I feel like it could have used a little bit more stretch, but in these new leggings, I did not notice any lack of stretch. So the Curve bra is a returning bra. This is a super popular one, and I'm so glad they brought it back because I actually think this one is super cute. It's minimalist, it's very clean, but it still has enough room for the large cup size girlies. So I have this blue one in a small, and I have the Chai Latte in a medium, and I will do a side-by-side kind of showing those differences. A big difference for the new Curve bra is that it no longer comes with cup pads. So there's still a space for cup pads. It's still in there. They just didn't come with cup pads anymore, which I just don't really get it. Like, even if you feel like it shouldn't be worn with cup pads, I just feel like I would have liked them to still be included because I think Buffbunny has great cup pads. I have been wearing it without the padding. It's actually totally fine, but just so if you order it and suddenly there are no pads, don't be surprised. So we have this high neckline, this kind of scooped in shoulder detail. There is an under bust contour, and sometimes with these under bust contours, especially since there's no room for a real elastic under the bust, I find that there's not as much support or there's risk of kind of falling out the bottom. That's not the case with the Curve bra. This one's still very secure. And then we have this cute, delicate racer back. So I do have this in both a small and a medium because when I first got the small, it was a little bit snug. I still think if you have a larger cup size, I would consider sizing up. I think the medium is just a little bit more comfortable. I'm still supported. I'm just not quite as squeezed. So I definitely think this one runs a little bit small. The support on this one is still pretty good. It's still about a medium support. I have worn it to the gym multiple times. I don't notice any falling out. But the last thing I will say, and I will show a close-up, but I did wear a mesh top over this bra while I was on a walk, and I think the mesh kind of just rubbed against the fabric and I got a lot of pilling on the armpit area. So let me know if you guys have tried the butter fabric, if this is your experience, but that definitely was a concern for me. I definitely blame the mesh top. That does mean you have to be careful about what you're wearing with this fabric because I have not had that issue with my Nubre fabrics. So anyways, we have the curve bra. Next, we have the Bliss Butter Leggings. So I actually got these in an extra small. Normally I get a small, but I was told by one of the other Buff Bunny athletes to size down. So I did, and I actually think this fits really well. So you have to be into the kind of Nike Pro waistband kind of aesthetic here. I loved these leggings. I loved how they fit, but I'm just not a huge fan of this waistband, especially paired with this bra. It just doesn't quite feel right. I feel like this is super feminine, girly, and then I always think of this type of waistband, this elastic, a little bit more athletic, you know, tomboy. So the two aesthetics don't quite match for me, if that makes sense. We will do a try on of these because they're new, but they are made of the butter fabric. Guys, I have worn these quite a bit, but I am concerned by the pilling. Do we see the little pilling right there? So I just don't know about this fabric. I feel like Nubre, I just don't have this issue, so this is just a bummer. But anyways, we have no front seam, really no front details at all here. You really are not going to get any coverage of the lower tummy area. We have some cute seams that go down the side and kind of almost contour the curves. 26-inch inseam. Then we do have the silicone Buff Bunny logo in the back, as well as some contouring glute seams. And this one actually has a shorter back rise seam, so you can kind of pull it up the glutes and give a little two cheek moment. It's just a shortened back rise. There's no actual scrunch in there or anything, but let's try these on. All right, here are the leggings. This is the extra small, and I would suggest sizing down. I think you'd be okay with your true size, but just kind of depends whether you run a little bit smaller. I definitely lean a little bit more towards the smaller size of a size small when it comes to the waist. So I think the extra small works well for me. I don't get any waistband gaping, but it's also not so tight that it's really constricting me. So because there's really not much going on in the front, I definitely feel like this short waistband and nothing going on there can kind of highlight the lower tummy area. So keep that in mind if that's an area you don't want highlighted. We have these cute seams that go across the side here. It kind of gives some just a little added detail, a little bit of roundness to the glutes even. And then we have the back. We have that short rise seam. I have not yet pulled it up the glutes because sometimes I just like to show how that is done. That's kind of how I do it. I gather the fabric up, and then you can see that the seam sits between the glutes. We get a lot of glute separation. The seams sit right above the glutes on the hip bones. So these are honestly super flattering. Medium to high on the booty scale at least, maybe even a little bit higher. But yeah, super flattering. I think the addition of the logo there is super cute. And I just think these would be so much better without this waistband because like the glutes going on, so good. I love all these seam details, but I'm just not a big fan of the elastic. Not the most cellulite friendly in these, probably a little bit less than Nubre, so just keep that in mind. And then these are a 26-inch inseam. You do pull them up the glutes a little bit, so they're almost a little bit more like a 7/8 length for me. Still an okay length, they're not awkwardly short, but if you are a really tall girly, just keep in mind these may run a little bit shorter than a normal 26-inch inseam. Then to finish out the butter capsule, we have the Bliss Butter 6-inch shorts. You guys know I was excited to see a 6-inch short. So we have the elastic Buff Bunny waistband. It has Buff Bunny that is in the waistband here. The waistband itself actually has a little bit of a soft lining to it, so it's not rough against the skin. So here you can see the waistband, it has Buff Bunny on it, and then the kind of softer inner material there. It's like brushed on the inside. We do have those seams across the side of the leg to kind of round the glutes a little bit. Then the shorts do not have the same back detail that the leggings do. There are no contoured glute seams here. There's just a single back rise seam, and it's a longer back rise seam as well, so it does not give you the same glute separation as the leggings. And of course, I love a 6-inch short. All right guys, here are the shorts. So these are a high rise. They hit right about just above the belly button. done. And since the inside of the elastic is soft, it really doesn't cut into the skin or anything. But again, you definitely have to be into that look. I do feel like it definitely creates a kind of area that can definitely highlight the lower tummy just because you have this thin elastic and then nothing down here. And with the no front seam, it's all just very bare. 6-inch inseam is great. I think this fabric works really well for the shorts. It's nice and lightweight. This is a light compression. I sized down in the leggings, but I don't feel the need to size down in the shorts. I don't have any gaping of the waistband. I love the seam detail on the side. It kind of rounds out the hips a little bit, rounds out the glutes. And then in the back, we have a nice medium to high on the booty scale just because this fabric really doesn't squish down the glutes at all. Even though this one you don't seat up in between the cheeks, I still think it's very flattering. These are definitely thick thigh friendly and cute shorts, but again, I would love them even more if they didn't have this waistband. If they just had like a classic waistband, I think that would be even better. The second of the capsule launches before we get into the main event. And this is also why I timestamp my videos, so that if you don't want to watch this whole thing, you don't have to because it's gonna be long. Anyways, we have the Boyfriend Cloud Hoodie and the Boyfriend Cloud Joggers. So this is an update to the Buffbunny Cloud Lounge collection. The Buffbunny Cloud has been super popular because this fabric is just amazing. There was so long where I was looking for a plush kind of cotton fleece feel to a lounge set, but that also had stretch, and this fabric is absolutely perfect. But I feel like they've gone through a couple renditions of the fit and everything, and we now have a slightly more oversized look. So this was part of the Buffpups Capsule. If you missed that, I will post some pictures of Peach and Pinto in their little Buffpups Cloud hoodies. They were meant for dogs, but Peach and Pinto, if there's something about them, they want to be included. So those also launched, which I think they're cute, but like, to be honest, Peach and Pinto didn't love them that much that they're gonna want to wear them every day. So maybe if you have a dog. Anyways, we have the Boyfriend Cloud Hoodie. I have a size small in this. The cloud fabric is super soft to the touch, but again, it has that stretch. We do have a oversized hood here. There are no drawstrings on the hood. There's a kangaroo pocket and little cuffs at the end of the sleeves. And then the bottom left sleeve has that Buffbunny embroidered logo. One difference between this one and the last Buffbunny Cloud Hoodie is that the logo is just a print text instead of a script. And the sizing has also definitely changed. We now have a much more oversized fit. Even compared to the first rendition of Cloud, the sweatshirt was pretty snug. Then they made it a little bit bigger, and this is even bigger. So I will do a side-by-side of this hoodie versus the last hoodie. If you liked the fit of the hoodie last time, I would recommend sizing down. Otherwise, I would stick true to size, but I love this hoodie. It had a little airport fit going. It was so cozy. And then we also have the Boyfriend Cloud Joggers. These now have an updated fit as well. So again, I will do a side-by-side of these versus the last Cloud collection, but I prefer the fit of these. So we have an elastic waistband with a drawstring on the inside, so you can kind of tuck it away. Let me know what you guys think, because I feel like I'm an inside drawstring hater sometimes, but I think maybe some people like it. We do have two pockets, and these are a 28-inch inseam, so my tall girlies. Honestly, pretty good length for us. We have a little elasticized cuff at the bottom, and these ones have still a good fit on the waist. Like, I still feel like the waist is true to size, but there's just a little more room in the thighs, in the calves, just so we have a slightly more baggy jogger. They're not like super baggy, but it's just right, because the last ones I do feel like kind of hugged my legs a little bit too much for a jogger. So I'm liking this kind of more oversized fit. Something that I did not notice before for the Boyfriend Cloud Joggers is the drawstring is actually not elasticated. The original Cloud Joggers, those drawstrings are stretchy. These ones are stiff, and I actually prefer the stiff drawstring. So overall, I'm much more of a fan of the new Boyfriend fit than the original fit. I just think it's more classic slouchy look, which is just more comfortable, and I always love this cold brew color. All right, we are finally moving on to the Boyfriend collection. So we are going to start out with leggings. The first pair of leggings launching is the Girlfriend leggings. So I decided to get these in the black mineral wash. You guys know, not normally big fan of black, but I wanted to try the mineral wash. So these are made of the Nubre fabric, and they have a faux wrap detail in the front. So they have this little stitching of fabric that kind of is supposed to look like a faux wrap, as opposed to a true cross waist where the fabric actually lays over each other. But because of this, they do actually have a top band in the front of the leggings. This top band does stop about halfway around, so on your side, side. And then the back of the leggings does not have any band at the top. That being said, I'm just not a huge fan of the faux wrap design of this. I prefer a real wrap, and I just don't like that it kind of cuts in a little bit in the front because it's almost like it has that top band. Anyways, we have those delicate Rosa style seams, a little dip down V in the front, no front seam, slightly extended gusset, 26-inch inseam, embroidered Buff Bunny logo on the back, and then just very slightly contoured glute seams in the back, nothing crazy, and just a normal back rise here. So here we can see that faux wrap style detail. I just am not a huge fan of it. I think it's pretty obvious that it is a faux wrap. It's not really giving what I wanted it to give. Then here are those seams in the back, and we can kind of see that black mineral wash. All right, the girlfriend leggings. So these are in the Nubre fabric. We have a little dip down waistband there for a little extra lower tummy control. And then we have that faux wrap detail. I just don't really feel like it's giving faux wrap. It's almost just like a little X. And it definitely cuts in a little bit in the front here. So if you're not a fan of top bands, I would stay away from this one. This one's a high rise, hits right just about, you're seeing a little bit more belly button, but the sides are all at the natural waist. The general compression on these, I would say medium, maybe slightly more medium to high because of the pattern. Patterns tend to be a little bit more compressive than solids. So if you've got these bottoms in the chai latte, they'd probably be more medium. This one's more medium to high. Then we go to the back and we do have the curved glute seams. I was gonna give this one a medium on the booty scale, but I think that might be too harsh. I think these still deserve medium to high. The seams go above the glutes. They're not squishing me down. You're gonna get good cellulite coverage on these because of the pattern and a little bit of extra thickness. Nubre compared to butter. Full length view of these, they're 26-inch inseam, so kind of an ankle length. And yeah, I think these are cute overall. I'm just not a big fan of the front detail. It's just not for me. But if you like a little bit of extra hold in the front, I do feel like these are kind of giving that. And I do think that they've looked very flattering on people. They're just not for me. I just prefer like a real wrap waistband. Second pair of leggings is the Legacy leggings. These are coming back only in the mocha berry color, which is one of my favorite colors of the launch. I wish I got more in the mocha berry, but you know, with Buff Bunny, their launches are so big that not everything can come in every color, to my dismay. The Legacy leggings have an ultra high rise, so they go above the belly button. They have no top band, no front seam. The waistband does go kind of straight across in the front. There is a nice little seam detail down the side that just draws a little bit of attention to the outer leg. And then we have that triple butterfly seam detail in the back that just provides the perfect amount of glute contouring while still giving a little bit of detail, just being overall super flattering. These are made of the Nubre fabric. I have so many pairs of Legacy leggings. I love them. They are just a classic workout to lifestyle legging. They're about a light to medium compression, 26-inch inseam, and just a classic Buff Bunny item. Another new item, we have the Rosa Bootcut leggings. So you guys know I love my Buff Bunny Foxy flares. So the Foxy flares are basically the Legacy leggings turned flares, and these are basically the Rosa leggings turned boot cut. So a boot cut is slightly less dramatic than a flare, but still kind of a straight leg. So these come in black chai latte and black pinstripe. Kind of regretting not getting the pinstripe. I think that would have been super cute. But I also feel like I probably will just wear the regular black the most, so we went with that. Since these are basically the Rosa leggings in flared form, we have an ultra high rise above the belly button, no front seam, no top band, that delicate style seam detail in the front, and then a contoured glute seam in the back. These do come in 3 different lengths. I love that Buff Bunny is just sticking with the 3 lengths. You really need 3 lengths for a flare because the short girlies don't want their pants dragging on the ground. The average height girlies need their length too, and then the tall girlies can't be wearing floods, because I certainly won't be doing that. So they have a 29, 31, and 33-inch inseam. So I did get the tall, the 33-inch inseam. I am a little bit worried about the Clydesdale horsiness of these. I think we might be getting a little, we might be hearing some gallops in the distance. That's just my prediction. I have not tried these on yet. I've tried on basically everything and worn it for a workout. This is one thing I have not tried on yet though. But something I liked about these is there is a slit at the inner hem, and my favorite pair of jeans, they're a pair of Abercrombie Curve Love jeans. They are a straight leg, but they have a slit at the bottom of the pant, and it just makes it fall over your shoe so nicely and almost gives them a little bit of added flair without being too dramatic. So this kind of reminded me of those. So we have that little slit. Other than that, I just feel like the bottom of the leg is going to be a little bit narrow, but we're gonna give it a try. Let's try these on. These are also made of the Nubre fabric. All right, we have the Rosa bootcut leggings. So we can see how high the ultra high waistband sits. You can see it goes above the natural waist. So this is kind of the older style of Buff Bunny. They're going a little bit more towards a regular high rise that would sit right at the smallest point of the waist, which I'm kind of here for, especially if you don't have as long of a torso as I do. But overall, these feel great. So I will say something that's different about these than regular Rosa leggings is we do have a side seam. A pinto! We take every opportunity to have a cat appearance. Here he is. I think it's lunchtime. They want their lunch. Anyways, there's not usually a side seam on Rosa leggings, but because of the flare or bootcut style here, we do have that. We have no front seam. Overall compression is about a medium, tends to be a little bit more compressive in black. They are still flattering on the glutes in the back, medium to high on the booty scale, flattering seams. These have the classic Buff Bunny like reflective logo in the back. Since this is mostly coming in darker colors, these are also pretty cellulite friendly. So, as I feared, you know, they're not quite giving Clydesdale horse. It's almost just like the flare is so mini that it's almost like these are a straight cut legging that just have a little slit in the ankle. So, big calf girlies, you're not gonna like this one. But if you are someone who doesn't like a super dramatic flare, like the Buff Bunny Foxy flares, it's just too 70s bell bottom for you, you may like these. I do think the slit is super cute. I love a slit, but I'm tempted to like try to cut mine a little bit higher because if I cut mine to like there, I don't know, it might look weird, but maybe it wouldn't cling to the calves so much and I'd be able to wear them. Let me know what you guys think, but yeah, definitely not the most large calf friendly here. I still think they're cute, but again, small calf girlies only. The length is perfect for me though. These are the tall length, the 33-inch inseam. I love that they come out with so many length options. These are great for lifestyle. The Dream Heathered leggings are back. These launched in the Genesis collection earlier this year. Actually, that was just the last launch. So if you missed out last time, they're back. And you guys have to let me know what you think of these because I was not a huge fan of them in the Genesis collection. I actually ended up sizing up to a medium because the smalls were super snug on me. So I do recommend sizing up in these. If you did try these in Genesis, leave a comment down below. What are your thoughts? Did you like them? Were you kind of on the same page as me? But anyways, these are made of a recycled polyester spandex heathered material, so super soft to the touch. Here is a close-up of that fabric. Compared to something like a Petula Bear, they are definitely a little bit more thick and dense, so a little bit more compression. Another thing I did not love about these is they are only a 24.5-inch inseam. So they're just too short for me. Generally, I just need at least a 26-inch inseam unless it's seamless, and seamless just has a lot of stretch. They also list these as a high rise, but they definitely hit me below the belly button as more of a mid-rise. We can see the waistband does look pretty short here. The waistband is a slight V in the front, silicone logo in the back, and then V contoured seams. And then this actually has a hidden scrunch. I don't know if I emphasized this in the last video, but there is an elastic up the back rise seam that helps separate the glutes a little bit. So these are very flattering on the glutes. I definitely got more of a medium to high compression in these just because I do feel a little bit thicker than a super naked feel kind of marled fabric. But yeah, overall, I do think these run a little bit small, so consider a size up. And I wish I loved these more because they are coming in some super cute colors. I really wanted more in the Mocha Berry and the Berry Ice, but just was not really interested in getting another pair of these just because I don't think they've made any changes since these did just launch last month. Okay, I was just gonna do a try on and no talking for these, but they're kind of better than I remembered them. Maybe because I mostly had tried on the small before. Honestly, I don't know why they're fitting differently, but it's feeling better than when I last had them on. So this is the medium, this is the size up, which is my sizing recommendation, but the medium hits me a little bit higher than the smalls did. Those hit me like below the belly button. It was just very mid-rise. I feel like I'm not getting as much crotch gathering than I was last time, so maybe my opinion on these is changing. They're definitely still a thicker legging, like you're getting quite a bit of warmth from these. So just keep that in mind. It may be a little bit warm for a gym legging unless it's very cold in your gym. And then I feel like the hidden scrunch is doing more than it was last time. Definitely separating the cheeks a little bit, medium to high on the booty scale. And we're also getting a good amount of cellulite coverage because this fabric is a little thicker and we do have the marl. But alas, they are still just awkwardly short for me. Still better for my shorter girlies, but kind of liking how they fit better than last time. So I'm not a Dream Heather leggings hater. I just think better for shorter girlies. But the bra, on the other hand, I leaned over and we just like lost an entire boob. So still not my favorite bra, but the leggings, doing okay. All right guys, we got a lot of new leggings. These are the Waffle knit leggings. They are made of a jacquard waffle knit, which means the waffle is like woven into the fabric. We'll do a quick close-up on that. It's giving like base layer, long underwear kind of vibes, so very loungy. I did not workout test these because they're just not meant to be worked out in. So this is the cappuccino color, so pretty similar to the chai latte. We have a high rise on these, so right about at the belly button. Delicate Rosa seam here and slight dip down in the front. Slightly extended gusset, no front seam. In the front of the waistband here has no top band, but starting around like 3/4 out from the midline, we do have a top band there to help them kind of stay up. I prefer no top bands in my leggings, but alas, we have it here. The Buffbunny logo is embroidered into the back, curved glute seams. It's kind of like a Rosa shape legging, except a little less high rise. And these are a 26-inch inseam. Here are the waffle knit leggings. And as we can see, they're pretty high rise. They were labeled as a high, but I am feeling like they are hitting me above my belly button and above my natural waist. So I would say they're kind of more of an ultra high rise. Another thing is that they are pretty snatching on the waist. So they're feeling pretty snug. So if you are in between sizes or you're wanting this as more of like a comfy, cozy lounge piece and you don't want to be super held in, I would size up, because especially with this top band, I just feel like it's really snatching. And when I was pulling these over my hips, I could tell they were pretty tight. Other details, you have the slight dip down in the waist for a little tummy control there. The waffle knit fabric, it's not brushed on the inside, but it's slightly softer against the skin, so it is comfortable. Definitely going to give you cellulite coverage because of the pattern, which is nice. I would say low to medium compression. I am getting a little bit held in. If you size up, you'll definitely be getting more of a light compression. The booty scale, it's honestly pretty flattering. I would say medium to high. And then we have the embroidered logo, which I think is a nice touch. But I will say, as I was trying these on, my ring doesn't snag many things, but I did get a snag in these from my ring. And as someone with pets with little claws, it is kind of inevitable if you have cats, dogs with claws, that they are going to get that on your clothing. So I don't think these are snag proof. So keep that in mind if you're going to be lounging in these at home and you have pets, you may get some snags. So if that is a deal breaker for you, you are aware. And then the full length view. These are a 26-inch inseam, but they're pretty stretchy. So honestly, I can kind of pull them down to a full length and they're doing pretty good. So I think these are cute. They're fun. I personally, if I had my own choice, I would be wearing this fabric as like a wide leg lounge pant. I'm not really into like lounge leggings, but if this is more of like a base layer, perhaps, I would just be a little bit worried about the snagging. Next, we have another new legging and new fabric. These are the Colorado pocket leggings. I got the color Mocha Berry here. So pretty. So these have a couple fun details. First of all, they're made in this super warm fleece lined fabric. I will say they say fleece lined, but I also did watch behind the designs and they said they're really just ultra brushed on the inside. So they have a good amount of thickness and warmth, but it's not like fleece per se. I don't know. I did a whole fleece lined legging video and it was actually hard to find any leggings that like had a true fleece lining. But if I had tried these in that fleece legging video, these would have won because I love the fabric on these. They are a sleek performance on the outside, so good for like hiking, walking type activities, also more pet fur resistant, but the inside is super soft and brushed. So here's the outside of the fabric. We have a little sleek performance. I also love the seam quality of these. And then the inside of the fabric is super soft, brushed, and plush. Okay, guys, I don't know what's going on. As I wore these for a walk this morning, we did a little hot girl walk test. I thought they performed well, and I don't know what I did, but I have pilling on these. And I just don't normally have pilling on Buffbunny items, and I just feel like lately it's been happening, and I am not super excited about that. So if we see right here on the pocket, I don't know, I mean, maybe my like watch was like rubbing against it. Maybe my sleeve was rubbing against it. I was wearing the jacket with this, but that is really disappointing because I thought this fabric would be more high impact durable. I'm not seeing any issues on the inner thighs, although there was just one wear. So that is just a bummer. Moving on, we have some more details of the leggings. Since these are kind of a heavier legging, they did put a top band on them. You know, I don't love a top band, but I will say I did load these pockets pockets up with my phone and my keys on my walk today, and they did not slide down. So the top band must be helping. We have this super flattering V front in the waistband. We do have those side pockets, and the top of the pockets is a bonded edge seam to kind of keep those pockets laying flat. They're listed as a 26-inch inseam, but they actually have a stirrup on the bottom. And a stirrup, if you were a dancer growing up, you know, the old stirrup tights. Basically, it goes over your foot and your heel goes in this little section, and it just kind of keeps the leggings on if you're taking on and off shoes, things like that. Good for if you're putting on like hiking boots and you don't want your leggings to like get scrunched up, or ski boots, things of that nature. So they're listed as a 26-inch inseam, but to the end of the stirrup, I actually measured a 29.5-inch inseam. So I do feel like these could have been a teeny bit taller for me as a tall girly, but they did have quite a bit of stretch that I actually wore them with the stirrup on my walk, and it didn't pull the leggings down at all. So I would consider these still mostly tall girl friendly. Then in the back, we have the silicone Buffbunny logo, some tapered glute seams, and another thing that's great about this fabric is it's a little bit thicker, so I think it's going to be a little more cellulite friendly. All right, so here are the Colorado pocket leggings. I really hope the fabric thing is just a fluke because I love how these feel. But you know what? It kind of reminds me of, the outer feel kind of feels like the Loch Ness leggings. So if you remember those, very similar feel to those. So if you liked that fabric and that held up well for you, I think you would like these. And these are not the OG Loch Ness, which was energy fabric, but the secondary Loch Ness leggings. Anyways, we have a high rise. They do hit right about at the belly button. We do have that top band, but given how these performed on my walk, I'm gonna excuse the top band. I do think it can be helpful to have in some performance leggings, especially since these are so thick and heavy. Having that little band to help them stay up is good. And they didn't slide down anyway though. Sometimes with this little band, they will still slide down to like my hip area, and that didn't happen. So they stayed put really well. Overall, true to size. If you're in between, I maybe would size up just so the band isn't too tight. Little dip down in the front. We have the side pockets, and you can see the bonded seam with the side pockets helps it stay really flat there. And you even have that little fleece lining on the inside of that. I love that the seam is actually like a little bit shiny. I think that's kind of fun. Honestly, even though these are a thicker legging, they really still have a ton of stretch to them. I was actually doing some stretches after my walk. I'm trying to keep my splits up because I used to dance. I would like to get back into it a little bit, and I don't want to lose my splits. So I was able to do that comfortably in these. But anyways, even though they are thicker, they are still super stretchy. So the compression actually isn't too much. I would say really medium, maybe medium to high compression. And then we have the back. The seams go above the glutes here. And again, they're not squishing down the glutes. So we're gonna give them a medium to high. Definitely gonna be cellulite friendly here as well because the fabric is a little bit thicker. And then we have the full length view with the stirrups. So you can see the stirrup kind of splits around the heel. That is how they're meant to be worn, kind of keeps them on your leg. And this did not bring them down even though I am tall, so I would still consider these tall girl friendly. When I was wearing my socks, they were really comfortable. Now that I'm not wearing socks, I feel like it may be a little bit tight on the bottom of my foot, but I am on the taller side, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, overall I really liked these, even just the style of them. I'm not like a huge stirrup person. The last time we reviewed a stirrup on this channel, it was the Kim Kardashian. It was the Skims X Skins collection, and it's just not something that I would add intentionally. But if I would use these for hiking, maybe it could be something beneficial. I don't know. Since it's not something you really notice because it's tucked into socks or shoes, it's not a huge deal, but what do you guys think? Next pair of leggings, we have the BBL Seamless Leggings. These are back, and I have not tried these since they updated them. They updated them over Black Friday. They pretty significantly decreased the rise. They also made the waistband less super snug and compressive. And I'm actually loving the fit of these new ones. So the BBL Seamless Leggings, they're called the BBL acronym. It's supposed to be Buffbunny Lift. So lift in the glutes. We have a thick compressive waistband that's sewn onto the leggings here with a lightweight marled seamless, and these are technically a 24-inch inseam, but seamless has a ton of stretch, so they actually fit like a full length. And we did get some more BBL seamless during the Genesis collection, and I tried the pistachio ones in the shorts, and they were quite sheer. I did wear these to the gym, and I feel like because this closely matches my skin tone, it just didn't seem like you were seeing anything through. I didn't see my underwear underneath these, but we will definitely be double squat testing these because I just feel like they have been a little bit sheer. We have those tapered glute seams in the back, and something that makes these different from a scrunch seamless legging is instead of having a scrunch, there's a shortened back rise seam. So the shortened back rise seam is meant to kind of be pulled up between the cheeks, get some glute separation, and get the scrunch effect without having that scrunch appearance. So if you are someone who is against that like shiny looking scrunch of like an Alphalete Amplify, this is kind of an alternative that I think works really well. And then we also have an under glute contour. I'm generally not a big fan of under glute contours because they can be really hard to place. And I still think that these would be better without it, but they did tone it down a little bit from the first BBL Seamless where it was quite obvious. So it's kind of a little semicircle, little smile glute contour. It's giving navigation, you know? And here's a close-up of the back, the double thickness waistband, shorter back rise seam, and the little contour. And then another fun detail is on the inside of the leggings. If you flip the waistband down, it's really subtle on this color, but it does say Buff Bunny in the inner waistband. So I will do a side-by-side comparison of these versus the old BBL Seamless, and you will see the rise is quite different. All right, we have the updated BBL Seamless. And let me just say, I was definitely feeling myself with this outfit at the gym. I feel like it was super flattering. So my gym is full of like retired people, basically. And I had this old man come up to me and say that it was so awkward, honestly. It was so awkward. He said, "You won the best body award at the gym today." And I said, "I didn't know there was a competition," and laughed it off awkwardly. And he was like, 75. I don't know what makes people think that that's a normal thing to say, but the outfit, I guess, was working. All right, so I am definitely liking the updates to this. First of all, now the waistband actually gives you tummy control because it actually goes quite low. So last time the waistband was really like already up at the highest point of the waist and didn't do anything for the lower tummy. Now the waistband's doing things, and it's also not overly tight. I will say this is listed as a high rise. I definitely get it dipping below my belly button. You can see right here in the front here. So I wouldn't quite consider it mid-rise because most of the waistband goes to the natural point of my waist, but I would consider it more mid to high rise. So if you are like diehard ultra high rise, these are not going to be for you. I will say there's a little bit of tightness in the crotch here, but I don't think it's uncomfortable. I mean, I'm kind of used to it at this point. I wear a lot of scrunch leggings, but just be aware there is a little bit of crotch tightness. We will double squat test these, but I don't see any of my underwear through the side. And really, if a legging is super sheer, you can see a nude underwear through. It has a slight marl to the fabric. Overall compression is about a medium. And then we have the back, and I feel like this lower waistband is making them even more flattering on the glutes. We have that shorter back rise seam that I've put between the cheeks to give some glute separation. And this stays put the whole workout. It does not budge. So really flattering on the glutes, high on the booty scale. We do have that under glute contour, and I feel like they keep changing the position of it, but I think it sits in a good place right now without me having to adjust it too much. So, and it's also a lot lighter and less noticeable than before. So I prefer if it wasn't there, but overall I feel like it's not too bad. And then this is the full length view. They're a 24-inch inseam, but because they're so stretchy, you can really kind of pull them down to be a full length. And then I also feel like these could be somewhat cellulite friendly, not full cellulite friendly, just because of the marl in the fabric. So these are one of my top choice leggings. That's all if the squat tests prove to be good, but I think that I am a fan of the updates of these. One last thing I will say is that because the back rise seam is stiff, you definitely feel the tightness of the scrunch. So if you are not a fan of that wedgie feeling, I would not get these. All right guys, next category, we are moving on to shorts. So we don't have a lot of shorts in this collection, but one thing we do have are 6-inch legacy shorts. One of my favorites. I've reviewed them a bunch of times, so we're just gonna go through the breakdown. These are a high rise instead of an ultra high rise like the leggings. We have a great 6-inch short length with a slightly flared thigh opening, so these are super thick thigh friendly. These are one of my favorite shorts. We have that butterfly contour detailing in the back, about a light to medium compression, and just such a classic short. I had to get this in the chai latte color. I think this is a really nice neutral. And then we have a new short. These are the Hot Girl Run shorts. So Buff Bunny has had some of my favorite flowy shorts in the past. We've had had the flow shorts, the Lifesaver shorts, but these are slightly different. I don't think I'm gonna like these as much as the Lifesaver shorts, but we'll give them a try. So I got the pistachio color, which is super cute. So we have an elastic kind of smocked style waistband. It sits a little bit flat in the front, then it has more elasticiness in the back. The waistband also has a loop drawstring that you can tighten in there. I'm not really a fan of loop drawstrings because I don't really understand them, nor have I really tried though, to be quite honest. We have some cute little mesh insert detailing in the front here. There is a zip pocket on the right side. And then there is a liner in these shorts, and something I can just tell that I'm not going to love is I don't like when I can see the liner underneath the outer short. I just prefer it not to be this way, but I did measure the inseams on these, and the outer short is a 2-inch inseam, but the inner short is a 4-inch inseam, so it does stick out quite a bit. Gives you some good cheek coverage in the back, but I just don't love the look. So these are going to be super short, and I don't know, I feel like a flowy short is really hard to do, and I liked the Lifesaver shorts a lot, and I just feel like this one's not going to be quite as good for me, but we'll give it a try. Let's try it on. All right, so here are the Hot Girl Run shorts, and immediately you see what I mean. Like, I just think it looks awkward when you see the inner short liner underneath the short, and it's just too pronounced for me in these shorts. I much prefer the Lifesaver shorts. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad that there's a good inseam length because the Lifesaver shorts were super short on the inseam. So we have good cheek coverage in the back, but just not my thing. They are a little bit tight on the thighs as well. So I wouldn't say that these are the most thick thigh friendly. Right above the belly button, so these are a high rise. The Lifesaver and the flow shorts were ultra high. And I'm already getting a nice snug, but not too snug fit on the waistband, so I don't really need the drawstring, but it's there. We do have the side pocket on the right side. It goes all the way down in this little section here, actually this whole rectangle, so it's pretty spacious, and I like that it's kind of hidden like the jacket pocket as well. We have the little mesh seam details, which is super cute. Oh, we actually have pockets on both sides, just kidding. Both sides. Logo in the bottom left, and then almost like little contoured seams in the back. They don't really do much, but a little addition. So they're not the flowiest of flowy shorts either. I think if you're in between on these ones, I would choose the size up just because we can adjust the waistband and the thigh area is a little bit tight. These probably are still going to roll on me depending on what I'm doing. If I was just out walking in them, shouldn't be a problem. But if I was going to the gym in these, then I would get some rolling. Overall compression on the inside is a light to medium. And yeah, just not really my personal style of short, but they're not bad. They're not uncomfortable per se. Oh, actually there's a whole short pocket in here. Oh, and is there an inner pocket? No, okay, there's no inner pocket, but there's also no front seam on the inner shorts, so you're not gonna get any discomfort in the crotch there. And then, kind of in the short category, but also in a category of its own, we have the Dream Heather bodysuit. So we had the Dream Heather bra, the Dream Heather leggings, and now we have a bodysuit version. Guys, this is the first bodysuit that I've actually worn to the gym in public. And it really wasn't that bad. I got a compliment. Someone asked me where it was from. I had to say Buffbunny, and if you've never said Buffbunny to someone in public, it always gets like a little bit of a like, what did you say? People don't really always get it, but she repeated it back to me. She understood. It's also kind of awkward when people ask me where things are from when it's not launched yet, because I'm like, you're gonna look for it and you're not gonna find it, but then I also don't want to explain, oh, it hasn't launched yet, because I don't know, I don't really want to explain my whole life story, but hopefully she doesn't look for it until next week. Anyways, Dream Heather bodysuit. This is the charcoal color. We just had the Buffbunny corset bodysuit in the last launch. If you missed my review on that, I did a whole video on bodysuits. I recommend checking that out, and the corset bodysuit review is in there. But this one is a little shorty bodysuit. So we have a 5-inch inseam. Honestly, kind of similar detail to the corset bodysuit. We have this kind of V seam detail in the front, kind of defines the waist a little bit, and just draws a little bit of attention to the waist. We have a scoop neck, and then there's this band across the back to kind of give you a little bra support, and it actually really worked. I definitely felt supported in this top. We do have removable cups. There is an elastic underneath the bust. If you watch my bodysuit video, you'll hear me talk about how I prefer when the bodysuit has like a separate bra lining, but this one actually still was sitting right under my bust for me, so it still gave me that bra support. I did feel supported. This one has quite an open back. It's not quite as dipped down as the corset bodysuit, so even though the corset bodysuit, I never saw my underwear squatting or anything, this one does have a little bit more back coverage. We do have some seam details up the back, contoured glute seams, and then this one does have a shortened back rise seam, in addition to an elastic up the back rise scrunch. So super flattering on the glutes in the back. It's that same hidden scrunch detail that the Dream Heather leggings have. And yeah, I did wear this one to the gym. I have to say, I just feel like it's not, just didn't give the most feminine shape. I'm normally wearing a sports bra and leggings, so I'm normally used to having like some of my torso exposed. So this was just different for me, but I did kind of feel it was giving a little bit of a wrestling singlet. So it's not my personal vibe, but it actually was quite comfy. But one more thing, I did have to go to the bathroom like twice at the gym. I never go to the bathroom at the gym. But of course I had to go on the day that I had to strip down when I was wearing this. So don't drink a lot of water before going to the gym in this. All right, guys, she may be giving wrestling singlet, but I still kind of love it. Like, I tried on so many bodysuits, and I do prefer shorts bodysuits to long bodysuits, just because I think that they're less overwhelming. But you know, from the front, it's giving wrestling singlet. From the back, it's giving who is she, you know? I really don't know how they keep doing this, but the little hidden scrunch, the shorter back rise is just like so flattering. This band is everything to me because it just kind of gives you that lower bra support, and I just love it. And this area is staying nice and flat against my back. It fits really well, and you're definitely not going to get any exposure of any underwear back here. Overall sizing, I would say it runs just a tiny bit small. So if you're in between sizes at all, you're at all concerned, size up. I'm actually getting decent bra support here. We have that elastic underneath with that band in the back. It's just kind of holding everything in. So honestly, I'm pretty supported. I would say medium support on the top. I would also say medium coverage for the top too. Good side boob coverage, just a little bit of scooping here. After I was doing some pull-ups at the gym, I do feel like it slid down a little bit. That's mostly a long torso issue though. The seam details here, it's almost like kind of like corset style seams. Like the corset bodysuit, I love this little V detail here. We still have no front seam, but we also have some like contoured seams on the side there. Just super flattering, just a lot going on. Honestly, I would say it's pretty long torso friendly. I was able to wear it to the gym, no problem. So, I mean, it was a little bit of a problem. I didn't have any actual issues, but it did feel a tiny bit tight. But overall, I definitely would say if you have a long torso, you could probably get away with it. Because of the shorter back rise seam, the 5-inch inseam does not really fully feel like a 5-inch inseam. So I wish it was just a little bit longer. Overall, I'm not getting any cutting in on the thighs, and it's super stretchy down there. So it's still thick thigh friendly per se, but it just definitely does ride up a little bit, and these definitely rolled on me at the gym, so just keep that in mind. I also feel like I'm getting nice and snatched in the waist, some compression down here, and because I do have a longer torso, I definitely get a little bit of strain in the straps here, but because they are thicker straps, it's not like cutting into my neck. I just definitely notice that being a little bit tight there. I think that's everything. I've been trying stuff on for like 6 hours now. So is that really true? 5 hours maybe, 5.5. So I'm sorry if I missed anything. All right, next we are moving on to sports bras. So to go with the girlfriend leggings, we have the girlfriend sports bra. And this one is a super cute, minimalist, kind of almost triangle shaped bra. It has a deep plunging V in the front, some cute strappy details in the back, an embroidered logo on the back left. And this one is actually reversible. So the black mineral wash has just plain black on the inside. And they actually still included the Buffbunny embroidered logo on the other side as well, so it's visible either way you wear it. This one does not come with any cup pads or anything because their reversible bras just never do, so that was a little bit of a bummer. And this one's also definitely for my IBTC girlies. Tried to wear this one to the gym. I had to keep my jacket on the whole time because we had several slippages, so not for my larger cup size girlies. It seems obvious, but when I tried it on, I thought, okay, maybe this will work, but it's just so wide set. We'll see when it's on. But anyways, this one's made of the Nubre fabric. All right, here's the girlfriend sports bra, and we can see it's just so wide in the neck that unless you're really wide set, there can be some issues. So I definitely noticed myself falling out of this at the gym, unfortunately. It's just a low coverage, low support, best for small cup sizes. It also does not come with any padding or anything, and you can't put that in there, so if that's important to you, again, maybe this is not the best option. This one also is reversible, and that being said, the black mineral wash works really well for the reversibility because the strap out here is just solid black, but the chai latte and I think chamomile combo, one of those. That one, if you're wearing the chai latte one, I believe there's a little bit bit of the lighter color poking out on the side. So just so you're aware, again, I think it's kind of cute. I think the colors go together, so it's not a big deal, but it won't be a full 100% color on the darker side. So I just wanted this one to work for me. There's a little seam at the bottom here. I didn't have any falling out on the bottom and pretty good coverage on the side boob area. It's just mainly the main cleavage. And then in the back, it's nice and strappy, cute back day bra with a little embroidery down here. Yeah, I love this bra for my IBTC community, but for me, it's just not going to be a top pick. This one is super exciting. We have the Ivy Wrap Sports Bra. So this is another Nubre bra, and it's kind of a combination of the Ivy crop from Buffbunny that has the super cute strappy back details and the candy wrap, which is one of my all-time favorite sports bras. It has this super cute wrap front detail. So this is kind of a combination of that. If you felt like the candy wrap sports bra was maybe a little bit too full coverage for you, this one is a little bit less coverage. It still did work for me. It's almost more of a bandeau shape with sewn on straps. The straps are thinner than candy wrap, but they are still adjustable, so I love to see that. And the crossback detail here is all elasticized Nubre fabric, so it's super soft. Silicone logo on the back. We do have removable cups, and the wrap detail is actually like a layered wrap design. Not kind of holding you in there, but so pretty. Definitely a big fan of this one. All right, we have the Ivy Wrap Sports Bra. So you can see it's pretty much a straight across shape here. I would say true to size, but it's a teeny bit snug. So if you're in between, I would size up. Overall coverage is a good medium coverage and support. It's kind of between light to medium and medium. The straps are pretty skinny, so you're not getting a ton of support there. I love the little wrap detail in the front. Just so flattering, kind of scoops underneath the bust, almost gives you a little bit of a push-up effect. And then the straps are straight up and down, but I didn't have an issue with them falling because they are adjustable. And then we have that cute little strappy area in the back. So I would say this bra is large cup size friendly. It's not as high support as the original candy wrap bra, but it's still enough where I'm fully contained. And then one last thing I'll mention is after wearing this for a long period of time, I did get a little bit of irritation right where the strap meets the bra right there. It's not enough that it made my skin red or anything, but you definitely just feel it a little bit. So I figured that would be worth mentioning. The Revolution Sports Bra is back. This is a classic Buffbunny bra, square neckline, super strappy back, long line, good amount of coverage. I do find personally sometimes I feel the tendency to kind of fall out of this one, but I will say I've never actually had an incident. This one is another classic Nubre fabric bra, just a classic Buffbunny bra. Then the Dream Heathered Sports Bra is back. We did just review this one recently, so I'll make this quick, but I did size up to a medium on this one. The small was so compressive. I was being squished out in every which way, so I do recommend a size up in this one. This one is quite the dropped scoop neckline, and it's kind of a similar fit issue to the Girlfriend Sports Bra for me. My girls are kind of teardrop shaped, you know, more center of my chest, not super wide set. So if you are more wide set, this is going to work for you, but if you are not, then you may find yourself falling out of this one into the center, and that's definitely an issue that I had. It does have an elastic on the inside here, but it's layered underneath the fabric, so it's a very seamless look. Again, definitely would recommend more for my smaller cup sizes. We do have removable cups in here. The straps are adjustable, and then the band is nice and thin in the back with the Buffbunny logo. To go with the Waffle Knit leggings, we have the Waffle Knit Bralette. So this is made of that Waffle Knit lounge material. It is meant to be a lounge bra, so we're not going running in this. This is not going to be super supportive. It does have removable cups. There is a little bit of an elastic along the bottom there for a little security. Slight scooped neck. And then these straps are adjustable, but they are more of those like lingerie style shiny bra straps. So I find they can kind of cut into you over time. I have not worn this for an extended amount of time, so I can't speak to that right now. But the back also is a little bit adjustable as well. They have those same bra strap styles across the back into straps, and they are adjustable. So here's a close-up of the back there. We do have those adjustable straps, embroidered logo on the bottom left, and then here's that waffle knit material. All right, here's the bralette. Honestly, pleasantly surprised. I thought that the straps were going to be more uncomfortable, but I've been wearing this for a little bit. I had some notes to write up, and honestly not feeling any discomfort with the straps. The coverage is, I'd say, pretty much low to medium. So is it large cup size friendly? To the extent that I fit into this, as I fit into most bralettes, but it's not supportive. So just kind of do what you will with that. Low to medium coverage, honestly still pretty good side boob coverage, just pretty scooped in the front, but the support is quite low, but it's also meant to be a lounge piece. So it has that little elastic at the bottom there that's kind of helping it stay secure. We do have removable cups, the adjustable straps, and then I love that, oh, I didn't even realize how it was sitting in the back. Okay. So we have both of those straps that can be adjusted in the back, and looks like that one can kind of shift up and down as well. So lots of adjustability here. I was able to shift that. That one does kind of slide up and down, so you can adjust it a little bit. But yeah, it's cute for lounge if you like a little lounge set, but it's definitely not a workout bra, and I do kind of feel like I could fall out of it if I was leaning forward a lot. So we also have the Colorado crop hoodie to go with the Colorado pocket leggings. So it's made of that performance material with the fleece lining. I will say the inside of the bra, it is double thickness, so you aren't getting that soft fleece against your skin, but you do see it on the inside of the hood. So here's that close up for you guys. You can see on the inside, it's still the sleek performance, but the inside of the hood, we do have that fuzzy fleece. Since I already mentioned it, this does have a hood. And if there's something that I'm not into, it's a sports bra with a hood. I just feel like it gets in the way. I honestly just want to cut it off because I really like this top, but the hood just ruins it for me. Petula did this a couple years ago, and it's just like, why? I don't know. If you guys can let me know of a purpose for this, go ahead, but I'm not a hood person really much to begin with, so unnecessarily putting hoods on bras, not my thing. Anyways, this is kind of a crop bra length, almost like a long line. We have a full zip here with hook and eye closure at the top. I believe it is also a locking zipper. I wore it about half zipped up on my walk today and it didn't budge. We do have removable cups in here. The bottom center area is bonded, very similar to that Airknit legging that we saw last launch. It just means the fabric is kind of glued together and creates a very seamless flat look. The racer back is nice and tapered here, and then there is a little band across the bottom, but it ends in the front with the bonded edge area. Again, cuffs are removable, and the zipper is a tonal Buffbunny logo. Okay guys, here's the Colorado crop hoodie, and if this just didn't have the hood, it would be a top pick. I love it. The fabric feels great. The coverage is amazing. It's like a long line crop bra, but it's still supportive enough. It's got everything. And then we just have a hood, and it's just not my thing. It's just not my thing. Anyways, we have a locking zipper. So if you zip it to one point, it's not going to budge, but there's also the hook and eye closure at the top. So if you wanted to do like a little like peekaboo moment, like a little cleavage moment, and have it open like this with that at the top, kind of similar to the 7C's top, you could also do that. I love the color of the zipper. It matches the rest of the bra, and you have that little Buffbunny logo in there. And then we have the little bonded edge area. Honestly, kind of sticks out a little bit for me. It's not sitting the most flat, but it's not uncomfortable in any way. I love how this scoops around the armpit where it's actually still covering the side boob area, but it just kind of scoops out to create a little narrowed neckline that I think is very flattering. We do have cup pads in here. There's plenty of space for the girls. So definitely large cup size friendly. It's medium to high support. I'm feeling pretty held in, even though it's not overly tight. It is true to size, but you could really go either way if you're in between. It's not so snug that I feel like you'd have to size up. And I would say it is full coverage. And it really was not uncomfortable in the armpit area either, even though I feel like it goes a little close to the lats here. I didn't have any discomfort on my walk. And then we have the back. If we lift the hood up, you can see that kind of narrowed racer back, nice and open. And here we are with the hood. No, I was gonna say, is this a vibe? I'm not a hood wearer, and I have my hair tucked in, so obviously it's not a cute look, but I'm so tempted to cut this hood off. Comment down below. Do I cut the hood off or what? Because I just won't wear it with the hood. I don't know. But overall, love it. Just minus hood. Next, we have the Shape Seamless Bra, and I am super excited about this one. I don't normally get excited about seamless bras, but I think this is the best seamless bra that Buffbunny has done yet. So it's made of a polyester nylon spandex ribbed style seamless, and the angles and the details in this bra are just so beautiful. So here's an up close of that fabric. We have that ribbed matte seamless. We have this flattering V neckline in the front, and actually had a good amount of space for the girls. And then it has another inverted V at the bottom of the sports bra. So it has that little sewn underbust band, and then it has just a little bit of like an inverted V along the front that just is very flattering. We have double elasticized straps that kind of twist in the back, and then the back has even more V details, and then they have this little V insert there with the Buffbunny logo that's just so so cute and just like little details. So here is that little logo detail there. It's so cute. This one also does have removable cups, and I'm rarely impressed with a seamless bra, but I just loved this one. Okay guys, I'm honestly so shocked that my favorite bra of the launch, and yeah, I'm saying it, my favorite bra of the launch is a seamless bra. That is like never the case. I just think this one is so cute and flattering. We have that ribbed seamless material here, kind of a little V neck in the front, and then we can kind of see the effect of that inverted V now that it's on. It kind of just like highlights the upper torso area, which I feel like I find very flattering, and then kind of comes down into the back. There's still a tiny little band right under the bust here, so you still get that support, even though there's not that long line section across the whole area. So I would say overall it runs a little bit small. I do feel like I'm slightly compressed in here, but it also kind of contributes to the compression. So definitely size up if you're concerned. Overall coverage I think is a medium. We have good side boob coverage, but it is scooped in the front. I did work out in this and had no issues with falling out. The support honestly is okay. I would say it's a good medium support. The straps are skinny, but they're not uncomfortable. And then we have the back. And guys, just like take a moment for that. First of all, the straps have not come down at all on me, so they stay put really well even though they're nice and wide. But I just think this little V detail is just so cute. I love the logo placement there, and it's just so unlike any other seamless bra that I've had. I will say if you're someone who only can have super soft fabrics, this probably isn't the one. It's not itchy, but it is a seamless, and it's not the softest seamless. For me, it's not uncomfortable, but it's not Nubre. So if you really like soft buttery fabrics, this is not the one, but I'm really a big fan of this one. I also would say it is large cup size friendly, and yeah, got good support, coverage, cute. I'm a fan. Another new bra, we have the Plunge Butter Bra. So it is made of the butter fabric. It's very much a bralette shape. It has kind of a wrapped bralette front detail. There's a seam across the bottom, a little gathering of the fabric here for a little extra space. We do have removable cups in here as well. And then the back is very delicate. The straps are straight up and down, elasticized and stretchy and adjustable. And then the back band is just one single strap, so we're not expecting much support here, but it is adjustable. So it's very much giving bralette. It's almost like the waffle knit bralette, but in the butter fabric in more of a triangle shape. I just really wanted to try something in this moody blue because it's such a nice little color. Let's try it on. All right, here is the bra. So the bottom band kind of folds under for me just because it's not super secure, and it's just not giving sports bra for me. It's definitely giving more lounge bralette, which is fine, but it's just not something that I would ever work out in. In terms of coverage, it's a low coverage. We have pretty good amount of cleavage here. The support is also a low support, light support. It actually does cover the side boob area pretty well here. I do like the little slight crossover wrap detail in the front. The straps are actually super comfortable. They're just an elasticated fabric strap. Then we have that nice adjustability in the back. So super open in the back. This is something I'd really only recommend for the IBTC, and also just if you're not looking for anything high impact. For me, even if I were to wear this as a lounge bra, I know I would be falling out of the sides here. So am I contained when I'm not moving? Yes, but overall I would say it's not the most large cup size friendly. All right guys, we have the last bra top. This is the Airknit Bandeau, and I don't think Buffbunny's launched a bandeau before, at least not in my 5 years of reviewing Buffbunny. So this is made of the Airknit fabric. This is a fabric that we've seen in a few tops from them. I got the white because I thought it was just a good versatile color, because I honestly probably won't be wearing this. First of all, she's tiny, but I'm hopeful, you know, if anyone's gonna do a bandeau, maybe Buffbunny will do it right. So we do have removable cups on the inside, and the top has a 1/4 inch elastic to really keep it nice and secure up there. And then the bottom has a 1/2 inch elastic to keep it secure below the bust. There's no silicone or anything, but sometimes silicone just doesn't really do much anyway. So I'm hoping the elastic kind of locks me in. And then the back is just the double thickness fabric. It still has that elastic in there. Very basic, very plain. Let's try it on. All right guys, I had high hopes, and honestly I think maybe if I sized up to a medium this would be better, but this is tiny. You guys saw when I was holding it up, that did not look like a small. So keep that in mind. I would recommend sizing up. Even if you're not a large cup size, it's really small. So that being said, I honestly feel like the cup pads are trying to stick out of the top a little bit. So just because the bandeau is so small and they use their normal cup pads, I don't know, I just don't really feel like there's quite enough room. I do like that they have that elastic at the top to kind of keep it secure, but listen, I just don't look good in a bandeau. There's just no lift. My girls don't support themselves. They need some lift, and this just like kind of squishes them down. It's just not a cute weight look. I really think this is a smaller cup size, girlies only kind of trend. If you want to wear a bandeau and you are a large cup size, more power to you, but it's just not for me. And then the little band at the bottom is kind of riding up for me as well, just because there's not quite enough bust space. We can see the white is pretty sheer, but luckily in the front it's not an issue because we do have the cut pads and double layers. And then we have the embroidered logo down here, and then it's a little bit narrower in the back. So I wanted to give this a try. If I have one valuable thing to say, it would be to size up, but I think I knew that this wouldn't be my favorite look. It's not the worst bandeau I've tried. It's more secure than the Alpha Elite one for sure. But yeah, if we had to rate the coverage, low to medium coverage, and I'm not even gonna jump because I know it's a low support. All right, next we move on to tops and outerwear. So we have the Airknit Bolero Shrug. We have seen a Bolero from Buffbunny, and if you are unfamiliar with a Bolero, it's basically just sleeves. And you may ask, what is the point? The point is a small amount of warmth. I still definitely feel, you know, with my arms covered, a little bit of extra warmth there, but also just for fashion, you know, just for the vibes. So instead of having the Airknit Bolero, which we had before, that had the strap across the front, you had to put it on over your head, this is the Bolero Shrug. So you just put it on like a little shrug, just sleeves, you don't have to put it on over your head. It's made of that super lightweight Airknit fabric. We do have thumb holes on this one. We have the coin logo in the back, and I just think that having this is such a cute layering piece. This is the chai latte, it goes really well with the chamomile bone. If you want to wear a darker color underneath, the cold brew just all goes really well. All right, here we have the Shrug. I think this color combo is super cute together. This is chai latte and chamomile. All of the browns in this collection are very cool toned, so they all go really well together. So this is the same material as the last Bolero Shrug, but it doesn't have that top area. So I kind of like the top area sometimes, but you do have to be a little bit more mindful about which sports bra you're pairing with it. So with just the regular Shrug, we don't really have to worry about that. It just kind of goes with any top. It does cover the armpits a little bit here, or for the most part, so keep in mind if you're a pit sweater, you might show. Peach! Peach! What? Your dad is not here to bother, so you're gonna bother me. Look at her face. She literally has the most human-like expressions. Like, I know exactly. You are looking so sassy right now. She's literally like furrowing her brows at me. Like, look at this little sass queen. Okay, go do your thing, girl. Go do your thing. Anyways, it's a good fit. This is a size small. I would recommend sticking true to size. The sleeves are snug, but they're not tight. And then we have classic little thumb holes here. They're sewn in and kind of sits over the hands. So yeah, not much to say about these. Here's the back coverage, still peeping a little bit of the sports bra out of the bottom. And yeah, I've just been in my little Bolero Shrug era. I love this style. What do you guys think? Then we have a very new style of piece from Buffbunny. We have the Boyfriend button-up shirt. So this is a 100% cotton shirt, and it is meant to be oversized. So it's not your classic dress shirt that's going to be form-fitted. This is meant to be kind of worn open as like a layering piece. To be honest, I'm not sure how much this one is, but I probably wouldn't pay too much for it just because it is such a basic piece. But I do like wearing little shirt tops like this over my regular clothes as like a little like light layer. So it's a 100% cotton, just a classic dress shirt material. It's a little scalloped hem at the side. It has buttoned cuffs on the side as well. We do have a collar. This is a size small, and you can see it's definitely going to be an oversized fit. It's going to be pretty long as well. We do have a front pocket on the left side. Something that I find really cute is that on the inside of the cuff, if you're rolling up the cuffs, it has the Buffbunny Collection embroidered into the inside. So if you're looking at the inside of the cuff here, we have that embroidered logo. Let's try it on. All right, here is the shirt. It's super oversized. One button, so we can see. I would not wear this buttoned up personally, but we can see tons of room at the sides, and then also it's super long. Goes well over the butt in the back. If you want more of a classic style fit, I would size down probably 2 sizes, but this is also not really meant to be worn as like a shirt that you would button up and tuck in. It's really more of a like styling layering piece. I don't really see myself wearing this with activewear as much as my regular clothes, but even then I prefer things that aren't quite this long, so I'm not sure this would be my top pick. We have the collar here. It does feel like a pretty nice shirt, but I also don't have a lot of shirts like this, and it's a little bit more on the stiff side. I have some more like silky flowy work type shirts, and this is not that. So we have the buttons down the front, we have the pocket here. I know there's like a way to cuff the sleeve where you still see the Buffbunny detail here, but I'm not super good at cuffing them, but you should still be able to cuff it so you see the Buffbunny Collection embroidered logo, and that's actually on both sides, but this is the full length view. So yeah, this definitely is a cool girl vibe, kind of rolling up the sleeves, wearing it open like this. But I don't have the pricing info yet, so I honestly can't tell you if this is something I would buy myself, but it's probably not something I would wear a lot. And if you guys know me, you know that I'm gonna love this jacket. We have the Colorado zip jacket. So same Colorado fleece material, sleek on the outside, fleece lined on the inside, but in jacket form. And this one is about a hip length jacket. It's not super long, but it's also not cropped. We have zip pockets, which you guys know, I love a zip pocket on a jacket. I love storing things in my jacket pockets, but I want them to be secure. So I love that this is zipped. We have a kind of stand up mock neck collar here. There's also a little pocket on the left sleeve as well. I don't really know what people put in here, but it's there. The inside of the inner pockets as well, you can also tuck things in there. There's some cute seam details that we'll see better when it's on. And then the best part, not only do we have thumb holes, but guys, I've been asking for this for so long. We have cuffins. Okay, these are my favorite thing that an active jacket can have because my hands are always cold, specifically my fingers. And this little fold over detail on the sleeve is like a built-in little mitten. So you don't have to put your hands in your pockets if they're cold on like a walk or a hike. You just tuck them into the little cuffins and then you're good to go. Your hands are warm, but you still have full range of motion with your arms. So I'm super excited about that. Let's try this on. All right, guys, the jacket. So I'm wearing it with the hoodie underneath it, the hoodie top, but honestly, all of these pieces together, this is like pretty warm. So I think this is one of the best jackets that they've come out with in a while, so I'm super excited about this. So first of all, this is the jacket open. The sleeves are snug, but they're not too tight. I think I would struggle to pair a long sleeve under this, so if you want to layer anything, size up. The thumb holes are really nice quality. They are nice and sewn in there. And then we have the cuffins, the hand pockets. So you just kind of take that little extra layer of fabric there and you pull it right over your hands and you have a little mitten. And then I kind of just grab the other one with my finger in there. Look, my hands are so warm. So cold hand girlies, we are covered, especially because this fabric is extra warm. So I love that little detail. We also have a pocket on the arm here. It's actually pretty spacious. It goes like all the way around the arm. A key, a card, something small could go in there. And then let's zip her up. So this doesn't feel quite as long as, I don't know, it's pretty long. My hips are here, so it does go slightly over the hips. So I would definitely consider this a full length jacket. It's not cropped. We have some curving seam details up in the front here, so it's nice and flattering. We also have those seam details in the back, and then the hood kind of pops out in the back. So if you want to wear it, it's almost like there's the hood on the jacket, so that's why there's no hood on this one, but I actually prefer not to have a hood anyway. So we just have the mock neck collar under this. And then it's pretty snug on the bust area for me, but I do have a little room at the bottom. This is kind of typical for Buff Bunny jackets for me. So I would still say it's true to size, but if you're in between, I would size up just mostly for arm space because the arms are pretty snug. And then I love how they hid the zip pockets in that little contour stitch line. So they're super hidden, tiny little pockets, but they're actually pretty spacious once you're in there, and they are also lined with that fleece, so they're nice and soft. So this one's definitely a top pick for me. I love a good jacket like this. I love the cuffins. Super excited about this one. And we have a peach appearance. She's getting to the point of the day where she wants something. Like, it's not quite lunchtime. We already hung out outside a little bit, but she wants something. Isn't that right? You can just sit on my lap if you want. That would be nice. Or are you gonna like do your own thing? Whatever she does is please ignore her or pay attention to her instead of me. That's also fine. So there are two tops that I did not get. I did not get the Finder long sleeve tee. This is a 100% cotton long sleeve classic tee fit. So it's just going to be your classic t-shirt long sleeve, and it has some wording on the back that says find something worth finding. Very hand in hand. Oh. And there she is. It's very hand in hand with the message of the Boyfriend Collection, which we actually didn't even talk about yet, but basically that you don't need to have someone in your life to have a fulfilling life. You can find that fulfillment in yourself and just fully invest in yourself. It's a good message. I really loved the campaign video. Basically, ladies, you don't need a man, okay? So if you like graphic tees, this one is super cute. Then we have the Cool Girl crop. I also did not get this one, but kind of regretting it because this one is super cute. So this is another 100% cotton top. So it's a relaxed crop. So it's kind of got a dropped shoulder type detail. It has long sleeves, it's cropped. It's just a nice little kind of like boxy oversized layering piece. And guys, we are nearing the end. We have finally reached the Threads Lounge capsule portion of the launch. So as you can see, this whole side right here is the Threads Lounge, and I just wanted to talk about the fabric really quickly. So if you're expecting a stretchy plush fleece like the Cloud, this is not quite the same. This is more of a spring lounge. So it's on the thinner side. And as someone who lives in a hot climate, I don't always equate a thinner fleece to be a bad thing. Sometimes it's nice to not be in a super, super thick item. But if you like a super thick sweatshirt, this is not going to be for you. This is very much light to mid-weight kind of feel. And it is a 76% cotton, 24% polyester blend. So it is not stretchy like the Cloud. So again, if you're looking for stretch and you're looking for plush, cozy fleece, go for the Cloud. This is more a classic lightweight sweatshirt material. So as you can see, it's got a nice amount of flow to it. It's got a classic sweatshirt look. And then the inside is lined with a more lightweight plush fleece. So here is the outer fabric, just kind of classic sweatshirt material. And then we can see the inner fleece. And in kind of holding this together, we can see that it's not super thick. So honestly, holding this up, it just doesn't feel as luxurious as the Cloud, but I could still see myself liking it for a lightweight use. It just doesn't feel quite as high-end as the Cloud or the Luxe. Anyways, we're starting out with the Threads hoodie. This does have kind of a unisex vibe, and it is a little bit oversized. So keep in mind with your sizing, this is a size small, but it looks pretty big. Classic hoodie shape. Honestly, it's very similar to the Cloud hoodie shape. We have the kangaroo pocket. We have the oversized sleeves with little cuffs at the bottom. We have the hood with no drawstring. We have that same embroidered Buffbunny collection on the left sleeve in the just classic print text. And then the Buffbunny logo is also embroidered onto the hood, which is super cute. Let's try this on. All right, here is the Threads hoodie. So first of all, it's a very similar structure to the Boyfriend Cloud hoodie. We have that same embroidered logo detail on the left sleeve, and it's a pretty similar oversized fit. So if I pull this all the way down, it is going over my butt. Personally, I prefer a more hip length sweatshirt. I just feel like this altogether is just a little slouchy, and I don't mean to ask for too much, but like a crop, a hip length, and a full length would be nice. I don't know, I feel like I never really like intentionally reach for sweatshirts this long, but that's just me. But you can kind of tuck it under a little bit to kind of lay over the sweatpants. We do have that front pocket here. We have the hood and nice long sleeves, and it's definitely an oversized fit, much more oversized than the bottoms. So I would say you can size down and still have an oversized fit. So my sizing recommendation would be true to size if you like super baggy, but size down if you just want it a little less baggy. And then here's the back. The hood just kind of rests back there. I think I'm actually liking the crop one just a little bit better. I also got the Threads zip hoodie. So very similar structure to the regular Threads hoodie, except we have a full zip. We do still have the two pockets here, kind of a bisected kangaroo pocket, if you will. Embroidered logo on the left sleeve, oversized hood, and you can really see how in the way the hood falls that this fabric is very lightweight. And I just figured this would be a good kind of cozy piece to throw on my way to the gym or just lounging, and I just kind of wanted a neutral color for that. So this is the bone color. All right, and here's the zip up. I think that the bone color is super cute, and honestly both of the jackets, they're pretty oversized. Like I would say this feels like the equivalent of wearing like a men's medium, not quite a men's large, which is like Ian's normal size. That would definitely be bigger. Like if that helps you with sizing, this feels like unisex sizing, and it's oversized sizing as well. The only thing that's a little bit more snug is the bottom, but I'm just kind of pulling it over to show you. It can go over the hips. I personally would have it kind of bunched up a little bit around the hip area here. Sleeve length is good. We also have a little bit of space in the sleeves. Two front pockets. It has a full zip, and I would kind of wear it open like this. And then here is the back. So I would recommend true to size if you want it to be really oversized, but you can size down and still have a relaxed fit. There's also a Threads Shacket. A Shacket is a shirt jacket. So this is that same cotton polyester fleece fabric, but it's in like a men's shirt jacket form. So another little layering piece. We have a little collar, full button down, two front pockets, Buffbunny logo on the bottom left, cuffed sleeves that are more sweatshirt than shirt jacket, then a classic little tuck in the back, and again, very oversized. All right, here we are with the Shacket. I think that this color combo is super cute. I just think the cold brew goes with so many things. So if we were to just do a button here, we would see that it is pretty oversized. So I did not line up the buttons right. I apologize. Sometimes I do that. All right, if we do one button, we can see that it is pretty oversized. It's honestly not too much. It's not as oversized as the boyfriend button-up shirt. So I would stick true to size on this one. And honestly, as a jacket, I think the weight of this fleece is really good. It's still cozy and warm, but it's just not too much. But again, all just depends if you like a thicker fleece. The length of this is over the butt, so definitely long. I will say I have a Shacket from Petula, and I just don't really reach for it all that much. Maybe because of the color, I just don't layer gray all that much. I think that the brown goes well with a lot of the browns I have, so maybe I would wear this more as like a lifestyle piece. You can even kind of like tie this up. I don't know, do people still do that? I don't know if they do. I think it could be kind of cute. The sleeves have a good amount of room to them. It's not too much. We have little knit cuffs at the end. Then we have the collar, and then the back just has that little pleat detail that just gives it a little bit of extra space back there. And one thing I said that I wanted this year in 2024 was more straight and wide leg sweatpants. Already February of this year, we have some Buffbunny straight leg sweatpants. Tall girlies. We can rejoice because the inseam of these pants is 33 inches. That's the only inseam they're coming in. So Buffbunny really said, tall girlies, we're handing this right to you. So I am so excited about these. We have a classic elastic waistband with the internal drawstring, and the drawstring strings are not stretchy, which I like because sometimes the stretchy ones, it's too much. 2 front pockets, Buffbunny embroidered logo on the left. They say it's kind of an oversized fit, so we'll see how these fit in the size small, but we have a wide leg, and sometimes I just don't want a jogger cramping up my ankles there. I just want to flow free. So super excited to try these. Okay, tall girlies. I don't know what we did to deserve this, but these are like the longest straight leg joggers that I have, and I am so impressed. Anyways, let's start with the top. These hit a little bit above the belly button. They do have that internal drawstring, but even without tightening it, it's a pretty good fit for me. Not too snug, but definitely not sliding down. We do have the 2 front pockets. There's the embroidered logo on the left near the pocket. And I would say that these are true to size, very slightly relaxed. So if you want a really oversized fit, I definitely would size up, but these are fitting me perfectly. Honestly, I might have to get these in more colors because these fit me so well. Anyways, the back, you can see kind of skims over the glutes, but still not tight, and same with the thighs. I would say that these fit a little bit more snug than the joggers, just in terms of room in the thighs. But even though this fabric doesn't have stretch to it, it just has a little bit of extra give. So I'm not feeling any tightness. And then we get to the length, and guys, these are like so long. I don't understand. They're literally like hitting the floor for me, and I'm so impressed. So tall girlies, we have been given a gift, and that is the Threads straight leg pants. I am so excited about this. I will say these are definitely more of a straight leg than like a wide flowy sweatpant, which that is in the name of them. They are the straight leg pants, but sometimes they say straight leg and they're more of a wide leg. So like compared to the Alphalete Origins, those were a little bit more wide leg. These are still kind of straight, but they're not clinging to the calves or anything. So I still think it's good for me. And again, if you really want a super baggy, oversized look, I would size up. Another note on the length, I did hear from the design team that this fabric can be cut to the length that you want, like for the pants. We do have a raw cut on the quarter zip, so I think that it's fine for this fabric to have a raw cut. Honestly, I think these should have come in multiple lengths. That's just me, you know, I always like to have multiple lengths. But if you are a shorter girly, they did say that you could kind of cut them to the size. They also said that the length does not change no matter what size you get. So even if it's like an XL versus an extra small, it's still going to be that 33-inch inseam. So these are turning into a top pick for me. They're so soft and comfy. Then we have the Threads joggers. And again, for my tall girlies, these are a 28-inch inseam. Very pleased about this. I feel like part of this is playing to them being kind of more unisex. In the Buffpups with the unisex, the boyfriend cloud hoodie, boyfriend cloud joggers, a lot of men were trying them on as well. I would bring Ian in here to try them on for you, but he's out of town. And by the time this video is posted, he's back in town, so creeps. You know, I never tell people that he's out of town when he's actually out of town, but he's super excited to match with his little cloud set with Pinto. They're gonna be so cute because Pinto has a little Buffpups hoodie. Anyways, on the Thread joggers, we have this elastic waistband and the drawstring is on the outside instead of the inside. We still have the 2 side pockets, 28-inch inseam, and just very basic classic sweats. These I feel like are going to be a nice oversized fit to the point where you can like put them on over like your shorts on the way to the gym in the winter. Honestly, okay, this is my first year living in Arizona. The weather is so beautiful, guys. Every day I sit outside for at least an hour in short sleeves or my bra or whatever I'm wearing, and Peach has a fun time playing outside. I read my book and I just enjoy literally the 75 degrees, slight breeze, the sun. It's just so nice. So I'm not needing any pants to layer over my items at this point because the weather's beautiful, but if you live somewhere cold, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm actually loving the fit of the joggers. So they're a high rise. They go right about over my belly button without me even needing to pull them up at all. And even without tightening the waistband, the elastic is comfortable yet snug. So I still have, you know, some space here, but it's the perfect fit. So these are very true to size. I also love to see the external drawstring, so you can kind of tie that up. I don't know, I just think seeing the drawstring is kind of cute. We have the two pockets here and just the perfect amount of looseness. It's a little less oversized compared to the Cloud Boyfriend joggers, but you can see it's still not tight on my thighs here. I have some space. We have some space in the crotch area and then a little bit of space in the butt, but without being saggy. So I feel like for me, this is the perfect amount of oversized. I do think since the waist is just about a perfect fit in my true size, if you're in between, I probably would size up just because these don't have any stretch to them. And then I did measure a 28-inch inseam, but when I'm wearing them, it doesn't quite feel as long, so they're more of an ankle length for me. I don't have a lot of new joggers that I love, but I like the rise on these. I like that it's kind of the perfect amount of space. I feel like when I did my old sweatpants video in the past, things would still be kind of tight on my thighs, or I'd feel discomfort when moving, and I'm not feeling any discomfort or tightness in these. And I also think this would be a good layering piece, you know, over your bottoms to the gym. Lastly, we have the Threads quarter zip crop. This one, I'm seeing the vibes, but feeling it, I'm not so sure about it. So we do have a little mock neck. I wouldn't really call this a quarter zip, it's almost entirely zipped. I love that they've been doing the tonal zipper colors. The area in the front here is a ribbed material, so we can kind of see the ribbing going on here, that tonal logo. And then the edge is actually a raw cut hem. If I had to compare this material to anything, it's similar to the Alphalete Origins material. So if you've tried that, kind of a similar vibe. But anyways, this is one of the more cropped pieces. Let's try it on. All right, here's this one. So first of all, sizing, it's definitely oversized. So we can see we got kind of like a drop shoulder, almost bat wing situation here. Sorry, I was just sitting with peach on me, so we have some pet fur, but that's why the light colors can be good because I can't see the peach fur on it. And definitely a boxy shape. So I would say true to size, but if you stick true to size, you will be getting a relaxed fit. So kind of keep in mind, you can size up if you want it super baggy, size down if you want it a little bit less oversized. And the zip goes down pretty far. You can zip it all the way down. I would say it's like a 3/4 zip. I've been wearing it kind of right around here, and then we have a little collar. We have this ribbed area, and then the edge is a raw cut hem. This is the only piece that has that raw cut. I've been lounging in this set, and honestly I find it pretty comfortable and a pretty good weight for the springtime, but just keep in mind you're not getting quite as thick of a fabric as the Cloud, but personally I still like it. The sleeves are plenty long for me, and then we have a little bit more of that ribbed detail in the back. So I think this one's good if you don't mind a crop, but the other pieces are full length. So I like that they have multiple options too. They have the crops and the full length because not everyone's on the same page about that. All right guys, we are finally moving on to accessories, which means we are almost wrapping up this video. At this point, we're gonna guess how long the video is. I'm gonna say an hour and 15. First of all, we got some socks. So these are not scrunch socks. We have the 3-pack full crew socks. So they are a 6-inch crew sock. So they're a pretty tall sock. They come in a 3-pack that either has the white, berry ice, and mocha berry, or there's also an option of white, bone, and chai latte if you're going for more of the browns. These socks are super cute. I don't even know if they come in multiple sizes, but they have a 6-inch ribbed length. The sizing must be pretty flexible because they fit me very well. There's a little ribbed section along the arch to kind of hold your arch a little bit there too. Then the Buffbunny embroidered logo is on both sides of the socks, so you don't have to worry about which side's on the outside, which is an underrated little detail, I feel like. So the berry ice has a white bee. The white has, it's almost like a chamomile colored bee. And then the mocha berry has a bee that looks like it's in the cold brew color. Oh, peach. Now she wants to sit on my lap. I had a feeling. So I've definitely been getting into the crew socks, and if the scrunch socks weren't quite for you, this is definitely a less bulky look. We also have Nubre Scrunchies coming in a lot of the colors. I love the Nubre Scrunchies. They're super big, soft, nice to your hair. Then we have a new accessory, which is a claw clip. And if you guys know me, if you've ever seen me in real life, I wear a claw clip every single day. And these are my current go-to claw clips. And if we compare the Buffbunny one, the current ones that I wear are about half an inch bigger. So I will test these out to see if they hold my hair. I feel like I use every inch of this huge clip. I will link these down below. You get a pack of 4 for like $10. Honestly, if this is more than like $4 for a single clip, really all you're paying for is the Buffbunny logo on it. Do I think it's cute? Absolutely. But honestly, I just got a pack that was like muted blush colors anyway, and it's a little bit bigger if you have a lot of hair like me. So I will show you how I put these on. But this is the Buffbunny clip. It's actually a nice little size if you just want to do half up, half down, or if you don't have quite as much hair. And then it has the Buffbunny logo there. So it's a very subtle branding. You won't really see that there's branding on it. You know, if it's too expensive, I'll just get the Amazon ones. Anyway, they also have the dad hats. These are coming in kind of vintagey washed colors. They have the embroidered Buffbunny logo right in the front of the dad hat. The back is adjustable and they changed it so it's no longer the faux leather in the back. It's just the same fabric from the hat, so a little bit more seamless of a look. I'm not a hat girly. My head itches when I wear hats and I just can't wear them. So I did not get one, but good for the vibes. Definitely fits with this collection. And finally, we have the breakthrough belt bag. I love wearing belt bags. I wear them normally for hikes. For my casual purse needs, I'm always wearing a belt bag. This launched in the 7 by Kara Corey collection, and I did not get to try it then, but I'm super excited to try it now. So first of all, it's a nice size. It's not super square. It's almost like a rounded square at the top. So it's a nylon exterior that's kind of, it's similar to the Buffbunny backpack, so probably water resistant, with a polyester lining. A large main pocket. We have a little mesh pocket on the back, mesh pocket on the front, and then space in the middle. There is a zip pocket across the back as well, which I tend to put like my keys, a card, anything I may need there. There's a D-ring on the left side of this, which is good if you want to like clip anything onto that. The Buffbunny logo is metal in tonal colors on the bottom left. And something that I think is really nice about this, which I did not know, is that it actually comes with an extender. So you can unhook this area of the extender, and the extender itself also has an adjustable length so that if you are wearing this crossbody, it is inclusive to multiple sizes, because honestly I wear my crossbody at the full extended length and I am pretty small, so to have that extender is really nice. And then it also makes it so if you do have a small waist, you still can wear this in the casual belt bag style. So I love that they have that little insert. All right guys, I think we finally did it. We got through everything. This is my longest video that I've ever filmed. So I'm going to get myself some crumble after this as a reward because I need it. Anyways, let's do some top picks. Top pick sports bra. It's going to be between the Shape Seamless sports bra, so flattering, love the little V detail in the back, and the Ivy Wrap sports bra. If you take a component of the Candy Wrap sports bra, it's gonna immediately be a favorite for me. So I love both of those, and they're both generally large cup size friendly. As for tops, I'm gonna say the Airknit Bolero Shrug. Definitely, I love adding a little Bolero to my outfits, as well as the Colorado Zip jacket. The cuffins, they just do it for me. As for bottoms, I honestly feel like the bottoms didn't quite slay as much as I wanted them to this launch. Like, I didn't really like the Girlfriend leggings. The Dream Heather leggings don't fit me quite right. Rosa Bootcut, gonna be clinging to the calves. I think we're gonna have to go with BBL Seamless as my favorite for the bottoms. And then of course, I love a wide leg sweatpant, so the Threads wide leg sweatpants. Again, I'm slowly building my collection of wide leg pants so that I never have to wear tight pants at any time. So those would be my favorites. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are still here by some miracle, please give the video a thumbs up, and if you are not yet subscribed, make sure to do so. Again, this is all launching on Saturday, March 2nd at 1 p.m. Central Time, and you can use code Catherine for 10% off. I always appreciate when you guys use my codes, and always make sure to enter my monthly giveaways. The link is on my website. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!